Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Anil Joshi. Welcome you to my series Iconology and Temple Architecture Perspectives. Today we are going to see a place called Bhula Bhulayya. Interesting with name itself. Now it is situated in the Daulatabad fort. What it indicates, a dark passage. Bhula Bhulayya means you do not know where you are going, and your right hand do not know where the left hand is, and your eyes do not show where your eyes are. But in spite of that, you have to travel through that if you want to reach this fort. Now, why Daulatabad fort is called as the best place as far as military strategies are concerned, we have extensively covered in our lecture, that is strategies or strategical importance of Devagiri fort, and you must visit it. Out of that, one of the structures is Bhula Bhulayya. Once you have crossed the barriers of walls, then big doors with nails which cannot even be opened with elephants, then the passage which is surrounded by guns, cannons on either side, soldiers watching you from the top, ready to pour hot oil or stones on you. In spite of that, if anybody has managed to travel, they come up to the Bhula Bhulayya. Now this is one of the most difficult things to cross over. Why? Because you have to reach in the fort, you have to cross this barrier. To reach this barrier, the one is, it is Bhula Bhulayya. I mean, it doesn't know where to go and what to do. It is totally a dark area. I am talking of the daytime. At 12 noon, you will not see anything inside. So that is because of the structural arrangement they have made. It is one of the strategically important thing because the enemies cannot cross it. One thing is they cannot see anything. They don't know when the soldiers or the guards are hiding themselves. There are hiding places, compartments for them. Now they don't know where they are. And third thing, they just do no idea to go inside. If they miss their way, a way may take them straight to a place where there are crocodiles and water deep, at least 50 to 100 feet deep inside. You can go and fall in it. So there is no way to survive. Either you will have to find out the proper way, or you have to fall into the place where there are a lot of crocodiles and there is water, snakes and whatnot. So it is not possible to come out of it once you fall inside. And again here, the way is so interesting that, and unique also I can call, because I have seen so many forts, I have traveled to so many places, but I have yet to come across such defense arrangement that nobody can really understand where they are. So let's come to know how they are and we see how it is. Now the fort is about 15 kilometers from Aurangabad, that is on the route to Ellora. The place is packed on weekend, but on other days you are the king. There is not much traffic, so you can prefer to go on some other day than Saturdays, Sundays, because or holidays. You can enjoy this fort and see the things in proper ways. It was built on a rock. Now the development have built this Kila or fort has gone through many stages, mainly by the Yadavas and subsequently by some of them are by Alauddin Khilji and Mughals also. Now the slopes are gradually removed so that enemies were faced only with a steep wall, which can neither be, you can neither climb it or you cannot use any leopards like lizards or any other ghorpad, what they call in local language, to conquer this hill. You just cannot go on that steep. That was made by Yadavas by removing the slopes. Now enemy have no choice to take only one way, which is through a narrow gangway. Now how the gangway is, that is very narrow. One person can go at a time only, and most of the time at that time where they were on the horses. This definitely was one of the most secure fort in South India and in Vindhyas. So Vindhya actually was demarcating between North and South India ancient time, and this was the fort at that. That's why for so many years it was ruled by a single dynasty. In fact, for several years, Devagiri was the safe deposit box for the revenue and wealth collected, particularly from south side, so also from surrounding area. That is by various rulers. They used it as a treasury. This was also a reason for several attacks on this fort of late, that is after 12th century. Till 12th century it was by Yadava were there and nobody could win any war here. Now fort are meant to enforce security and served as the last line of defense in the event of being attacked. In other words, whosoever fag is on the fort is a ruler of that area. So it was so important that the fort was the attraction, the central point of all the activities of the military as well as administration. Now hence the design of a fort makes for interesting studies, and those who are interested in studying the fort designs, they must visit this. Some of the fort had built in a region that would perpetually face a threat from the enemies because might be located at the gateway of lucrative resources. So what does it mean? If an area is surrounded by big mountains, then big rivers, that area cannot be crossed by enemies so easily. So what the enemies will try? They will come to the path of least resistance. So whichever is a lucrative path they call. And unless they come from that lucrative path, they cannot win that area. Now defense is made in such a way, this army was kept in such a way that this particular portion of the gangway or way will be protected, because that was the administrative area for the fertile area like around the Vindhyas. Now on such fort was Devagiri, Daulatabad near the Aurangabad, Maharashtra. The location and design of the fort is simply astonishing. While it is popular in Maharashtra and nearby areas, it is not much popular in outside, particularly towards north side, because the concept of Kila was brought to Maharashtra by Maharaj Shivaji, or that is ruler of this area, who was a great warrior, and because of him many forts in this area were developed. So Maharashtrian people are well aware of the forts. They do visit them, they do appreciate them, because they know importance of it in earlier days. And second reason why people don't come here much is because it is overshadowed by Ajanta and Ellora. But anyway, once you are going from Aurangabad to Ellora, the place is in between. But most of the people find there is no point in spending time over there. But once anyone goes there inside and finds the beauties of it, it is just astonishing. Now we had different lectures covering different aspects of this fort, including a lecture for strategic importance and strategic barriers and strategic important structures in this area covered extensively in that lecture. So in this lecture, let us concentrate only at the Bhula Bhulayya or dark passage or Andheri. Any intruder to the citadel has to pass through the Andheri. He do not have any other ways than this. And this ways I told you is impossible to penetrate for a new person. Even when we go there, we find it. And the different part of it is, earlier many tourists even were scared of going there. So government have to make an alternate arrangement. ASI department has to make an alternating arrangement, that is by steps which bypasses this Andheri, or that is the dark passage or Bhula Bhulayya. But personally I request you not to go by that steps, but to go by the dark passage only, because it is not as dark. There are good lights inside, and lot of tourists who are walking there has got their lights with the mobile. So don't get scared. It is not at all a scary place, but you will enjoy and appreciate the strategies. The long maze-like passage ascending rapidly and tortuously by a series of steps, uneven in width. So if they are symmetrical, equal in width, you can easily climb it. But it is exactly other way. They are different in height, different in, and moreover they are not very well. They are rough. Now they need a light to climb this. Without that you cannot try anything here. It contains several hidden chambers. These were meant for the soldiers to just wait where the enemies are coming, and once they hear the sound of enemies, maybe because of their weapons, then they just attack them. So that was the inside chambers for them. The passage was infested with several traps for the intruders. So not in straight lines, sometimes you will find two ways and afterward you meet at the same place. Now why these two? Your enemies will get divided into two groups and they'll start fighting with each other when they will meet. So that is the strategic importance of dividing it and again uniting it inside. Very, very interesting and nice. Then there were no windows earlier, but nowadays they have made some arrangement for the light artificially as well as naturally. And if anybody do not follow this proper way, he will go on a step, go in a passage, afterward there is no passage and he will straight fall into the watery grave. That is a trench below which is full of crocodiles. So that is the strategic importance of this. It is just as the people say, so dark you cannot see your own hands. But believe me, that is earlier. Now there is all artificially lighted and you don't get this experience. But if you close your eyes, then yes, the experience inside tunnel is enjoyable. Partially due to the lighting arrangement inside and the tunnel, and partially due to the crossing people from opposite side having torch in their hand or mobile torches in their hand with their smartphone lights, and that will be essential and enough for you to climb the steps. There are side chambers for the guards, you can appreciate it, and they open inside, but you know that they are just a chambers and not a way, and they were with the hot oils which was poured on the enemies. So really difficult for anybody who doesn't know it to cross this barrier. There were other tactile and fortified ways also. Devagiri is definitely one of the best designed fort in Indian subcontinent, and also I can tell you, you can visit many forts, but it will be difficult for you to get such parallel example. So unique, but how many of us have seen it? It was thus next to impossible for any intruder to pass through the Andheri and enter into the citadel. Tourists who don't want to go through this tunnel can use an alternative route through the courtyard that was constructed by the authorities in 1952. But I again request you not to go by that way, go by the Andheri only. That is enjoyable, don't get scared, there is ample light inside and you can really appreciate the designing of it. Tourists who want to experience a tunnel must take help of a guide or a torch so that they can get the ideas of the tunnel, like secret chambers. And don't worry, there is no way that is closed which falls into range. So nothing, it will not happen that you will not see any way and you will fall in anywhere. Nothing of that sort. Very, very safe. In case you want to avoid this route, another route is difficult route. It is a difficult trek. So be prepared for a hard trek. The route is steep. You need to be fit. Then wear light cotton clothes, sunglasses, comfortable shoes, and not to forget you have to carry a bottle. But there is a rule for carrying a bottle here. You have to keep deposit when you enter the fort and make sure that you will not throw the empty bottle anywhere in the fort. So plastic zone, it is a plastic free zone and we should keep the dignity of it. Trek is as good as climbing a hill, except that this rock has got embellishment. So that is not, we are not going to take that way. I personally feel that you should not take that, because the Andheri Kothari or the Andheri way or gangway or the Bhula Bhulayya is something really unique. But you are afraid of dark, then sorry, then you have to go by alternate route. But I am telling you, there is no dark. There are adequate lights put on. There are other additional tourist attractions to visit is on the top, that is after the Andheri. There is some part of fort is there, then temples are there, and there is a palace also. Now let's see with the help of picture how interesting, how nice, how funny, how beautiful, how enjoyable. So now the steps, some boards here to take care, then you will enter into the area like this, with pillars and all that thing you will find. Now from here you see a small way, a small entrance which takes you to the Andheri. Look at this, you are inside now. See, if I can take a photograph, that means there is adequate light inside. I can understand the photograph itself shows that they are taken in dark. There are some effects of dark on it. But in spite, it will give you a clear idea that you can walk. There are some ways in which the natural lights come inside. It's a beautiful and unique, just unique. Once you go from this, you'll remember it forever. Then secret chambers are there in which the soldiers were hiding. Then I told you there are, in one place there are two ways that the enemies will get divided, but again that they will unite, so that thinking that you are meeting enemy, the enemies will fight against each other and they will get collapsed. The secret chambers, the soldiers will come immediately. They got other alternative of pouring hot oil on it, and also there is a way which takes you straight to a trench where there are crocodiles, but not today. Today it is very safe, they have made it, and they have not kept any way here which is unsafe. Archaeology is very particular about it. That is the main reason why Chand Minar here, they have restricted the entry upstairs. Now look at this curved passage. Now here you have to imagine, can you walk this with a closed eyes? That is something like a experiment I tried, and so you are seeing here two ways dividing. This is all artificially made within a rock, which takes you to the upper stage of the fort. Now these are the certain places. Once you come up from here, you can see the scenery, how beautiful it is. This is, you have come out, and also you can go up to the hill, see the remaining things of the fort, but that is a topic of our different lecture. I thank you for giving me your valuable time. I hope I have given you some interesting information. And hearing this, I'm sure you'll like to go there and see it. If that is there, okay, give us a like. And if you find this lecture interesting, subscribe us. Thank you. Goodbye. Take care, and we'll meet in my next lecture.